Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dr. Charlotte Hayes, and today we're going to talk about something that could completely transform your intimate experiences. We're talking about specific powders that you can put directly on your tongue 30 to 60 minutes before intimacy that can dramatically enhance blood flow, increase stamina, improve firmness, and create the kind of sexual performance that will leave your partner absolutely amazed. Now, before we get started, I need you to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because what I'm about to share is information that could genuinely change your intimate life. And yes, I know the title is bold, but I'm using that language because I'm genuinely excited about what these powders can do when used at the right time and in the right way. Here's what makes this approach so powerful. We're not talking about taking something daily and hoping for gradual improvements over weeks. We're talking about acute interventions that work within 30 to 60 minutes to enhance your performance for that specific intimate encounter. This is about having a tool in your arsenal that you can use when you want to ensure an exceptional experience. The key is sublingual and oral absorption. When you put these powders directly on your tongue, the active compounds are absorbed through the highly vascular tissue in your mouth and under your tongue. This means they get into your bloodstream rapidly, bypassing your digestive system where they could be broken down or delayed. The result is faster action and more predictable effects. So let's dive into the most powerful powders you can use for this purpose, starting with one that has the most research backing it up and the most reliable results. The number one powder I recommend is L-Citrulline. This is an amino acid that your body converts into L-Arginine, which is then converted into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is absolutely crucial for erectile function. It's the molecule that signals the smooth muscle in your blood vessels to relax and dilate, allowing blood to flow into the penis to create an erection. Now, you might be wondering why I'm recommending L-Citrulline instead of L-Arginine directly. Here's the interesting thing. Studies have shown that L-Citrulline actually produces higher and more sustained levels of L-Arginine in your blood than taking L-Arginine itself. This is because L-Arginine gets broken down fairly quickly when you consume it, whereas L-Citrulline gets converted to L-Arginine more gradually and efficiently. Research on L-Citrulline and erectile function is impressive. In one study, men with mild erectile dysfunction who took L-Citrulline experienced significant improvements in erectile hardness. 50% of the men reported improvements, with better firmness and increased satisfaction with their sexual performance. Other studies have shown that L-Citrulline improves exercise performance and reduces fatigue, which can translate to better stamina during intimacy. It also supports healthy blood pressure, which is important because good vascular health is essential for erectile function. Here's how to use L-Citrulline powder for acute effects before intimacy. Take about 3 to 6 grams of pure L-Citrulline powder. Put it directly on your tongue and let it dissolve partially before swallowing with water. The partial dissolution on your tongue allows for some immediate absorption through the oral mucosa, while the rest gets absorbed through your digestive system. Take it 30 to 60 minutes before anticipated intimacy. The effects typically begin within 30 to 45 minutes and can last for several hours. You'll likely notice easier arousal, firmer erections, better maintenance of firmness, and improved stamina. The taste of L-Citrulline is relatively neutral, maybe slightly bitter, but not unpleasant for most people. You can mix it with a small amount of water or juice if you prefer, but taking it directly on your tongue provides the fastest absorption. Now let me tell you about the second powerful powder, beetroot powder. This might surprise you, but beetroot is one of the most potent natural sources of dietary nitrates, and your body converts these nitrates into nitric oxide through a different pathway than L-Citrulline uses. This is important because you're getting nitric oxide production through multiple mechanisms, which can be more effective than relying on a single pathway. Beetroot provides an immediate source of nitrates that can be rapidly converted to nitric oxide, giving you a quick boost in blood flow. Studies on beetroot juice and powder have shown improvements in blood pressure, enhanced exercise performance, improved endothelial function, and better blood flow to tissues. Athletes have been using beetroot juice for years to improve performance because it enhances oxygen delivery and reduces the oxygen cost of exercise. For sexual performance, these same mechanisms translate to better blood flow to the genital area, easier achievement of firmness, and improved stamina. Some studies have specifically looked at beetroot and erectile function, with promising results. Here's how to use beetroot powder. Take about 1 to 2 tablespoons of high-quality beetroot powder. Put it on your tongue, let it dissolve slightly, then swallow with water. The taste is earthy and slightly sweet, which most people find quite pleasant. Take it 45 to 60 minutes before intimacy. Beetroot tends to work slightly slower than L-Citrulline because the conversion of nitrates to nitric oxide happens through bacterial action in your mouth and then further conversion in your body. But the effects can be very noticeable with improved blood flow and stamina. One interesting tip: swish the beetroot powder around in your mouth a bit before swallowing. The bacteria on your tongue and in your mouth are what start the conversion of nitrates to nitrite, which is then converted to nitric oxide. The more contact time with your oral bacteria, the more efficient this conversion. Let me tell you about another incredibly powerful powder, Maca root powder. Maca is a Peruvian root vegetable that's been used for centuries to enhance fertility, libido, and sexual function. Modern research has validated these traditional uses with some impressive studies. Research on maca has shown that it improves sexual desire in both men and women. In studies with men, maca supplementation increased libido, improved erectile function, and enhanced overall sexual satisfaction. Interestingly, these effects seem to occur without significantly changing hormone levels, suggesting that maca works through different mechanisms. Maca appears to have effects on neurotransmitters in the brain that regulate mood and sexual desire. It also seems to improve energy levels and reduce fatigue, which can certainly enhance your intimate experiences. Some research suggests maca improves sperm quality and fertility as well. Maca comes in different colors: yellow, red, and black. Black maca seems to have the most potent effects on male sexual function and fertility. Red maca may be better for prostate health. Yellow maca is the most common and still effective. If you can find black maca powder, that's your best choice for sexual performance enhancement. Here's how to use maca powder before intimacy. Take about 1 to 3 teaspoons of maca powder on your tongue. The taste is slightly nutty and malty, which most people find pleasant. Let it dissolve partially, then swallow with water or mix it into a small smoothie if you prefer. Take it about 60 to 90 minutes before intimacy. Maca tends to work a bit slower than L-Citrulline, but provides a broader enhancement that includes not just physical function, but also mental arousal and desire. Many men report feeling more energized and more interested in intimacy after taking maca. Now, I want to tell you about pine pollen powder, which is fascinating because it actually contains small amounts of plant-based testosterone and other androgens. Pine pollen has been used in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries as a vitality and longevity tonic. While the amounts of testosterone in pine pollen are much smaller than what your body produces naturally, some practitioners and users believe that these plant sterols can have subtle supportive effects on male vitality and sexual function. The research on pine pollen is limited compared to some other options, but anecdotal reports are quite positive. Pine pollen also contains nutrients like vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that support overall health and energy production. It has adaptogenic properties that may help your body manage stress more effectively. For acute use before intimacy, take about 1 to 2 teaspoons of pine pollen powder on your tongue. The taste is mild and slightly piney. Hold it under your tongue for a minute or two to allow some sublingual absorption, then swallow with water. Take it about 60 minutes before intimacy. The effects tend to be subtle but include increased energy, enhanced mood, and potentially improved arousal and stamina. Let me tell you about another option. Horny goat weed powder, which we've discussed before, but using it as a powder on your tongue provides faster absorption than capsules. Horny goat weed contains icariin, a compound that has PDE5 inhibitory effects similar to pharmaceutical erectile dysfunction medications, though much milder. By inhibiting the PDE5 enzyme, icariin helps maintain higher levels of cyclic GMP in the penis, which is necessary for sustaining erections. The effects aren't as dramatic as prescription medications, but they're real and come without the side effects. Look for horny goat weed powder that's standardized for icariin content, ideally 10 to 20%. Take about half to 1 teaspoon on your tongue 30 to 60 minutes before intimacy. The taste is quite bitter, so you may want to follow it quickly with water or juice. Now let me share a powerful combination that brings together multiple mechanisms for maximum effect. I call this the Performance Enhancement Stack, and it combines L-Citrulline for nitric oxide production, Beetroot for additional nitric oxide through a different pathway, and a small amount of maca for enhanced desire and energy. Here's the exact formula. Mix together 2 teaspoons of L-Citrulline powder, 1 tablespoon of beetroot powder, and 1 teaspoon of maca powder. You can prepare this mixture in advance and keep it in a small container. About 45 to 60 minutes before intimacy, put this mixture on your tongue. You can take it all at once or mix it with a small amount of water to make it easier to consume. The combined taste is actually quite pleasant, with the sweetness of the beetroot balancing the slight bitterness of the other ingredients. This combination provides comprehensive support through multiple pathways: immediate and sustained nitric oxide production, enhanced blood flow, increased energy and stamina, improved mental arousal and desire, and better overall performance. Many men who use this combination report that it's the most effective natural approach they've found for enhancing their intimate experiences. The effects are noticeable without being overwhelming, and there are no concerning side effects for most people. Now let me talk about timing and optimization. The timing of when you take these powders matters significantly. You want to take them early enough that they've been absorbed and are active in your system, but not so early that the effects have worn off. For L-Citrulline, 30 to 60 minutes before intimacy is optimal. The effects begin around 30 minutes and peak around 60 to 90 minutes after consumption. For beetroot powder, 45 to 60 minutes is better because it takes a bit longer to convert the nitrates to active nitric oxide. For maca powder, 60 to 90 minutes is ideal because it has broader effects that take a bit longer to manifest. If you're using a combination, time it for about 45 to 60 minutes before intimacy. This provides a good window where all components are active. Here's an important tip. Don't eat a large meal immediately before or after taking these powders. A full stomach can delay absorption and reduce effectiveness. If you're planning an intimate evening, have a light meal a couple of hours before, take your performance-enhancing powders on a relatively empty stomach, and you'll get the best results. Hydration is also important. Make sure you're well hydrated throughout the day and drink a glass of water when you take the powders. Good hydration supports blood flow and overall cardiovascular function. Let me address some common questions and concerns. First, are these powders safe? For most healthy men, yes, these powders are quite safe when used in the recommended amounts. However, if you have cardiovascular disease, take blood pressure medications, or have any other chronic health conditions, check with your doctor first. L-Citrulline and beetroot both lower blood pressure, which is usually beneficial, but if you're already on blood pressure medications, the combination could potentially lower it too much. Second, can you take these every time you're intimate? Yes. There's no issue with using these powders regularly. Unlike pharmaceutical medications that can lose effectiveness over time or create dependency, these natural compounds support your body's own mechanisms and can be used as often as you want. Third, will your partner be able to tell you've taken something? The effects are noticeable in terms of firmness and stamina, but they're not so dramatic that it's obvious you've taken something. It just seems like you're having a particularly good performance. The goal is enhancement, not transformation into someone completely different. Fourth, what about side effects? The main potential side effect with L-Citrulline and beetroot is mild digestive upset in some people, particularly if taken in large amounts. Start with smaller doses and increase gradually to assess your tolerance. Beetroot can turn your urine and stool slightly pink or red, which is harmless but can be alarming if you're not expecting it. This is just the betalain pigments from the beets passing through your system. Maca can cause mild digestive upset or slight jitteriness in some people. Again, start with smaller amounts and adjust based on your response. Now let me talk about lifestyle factors that enhance the effectiveness of these powders. First and most important is cardiovascular health. These powders work by improving blood flow, but if your cardiovascular system is significantly compromised, they can only do so much. Exercise regularly, particularly cardiovascular exercise that strengthens your heart and improves your circulation. Even just 30 minutes of brisk walking daily can make a significant difference in your vascular health and sexual function. Maintain a healthy body weight. Excess body fat, especially around the abdomen, impairs blood flow and reduces the effectiveness of these natural performance enhancers. Don't smoke. Smoking damages blood vessels and is one of the worst things you can do for erectile function. If you smoke, quitting should be your number one priority. Limit alcohol. While a drink or two might lower inhibitions, excessive alcohol impairs erectile function acutely and damages your vascular system chronically. Manage stress. Performance anxiety and general stress both interfere with sexual function. Practice stress management techniques, communicate openly with your partner, and remember that sex should be enjoyable, not a performance evaluation. Get adequate sleep. 7 to 9 hours per night is ideal. Poor sleep impairs testosterone production and overall sexual function. Let me share some additional tips for maximizing your results. First, consider adding a small amount of black pepper to your powder mixture. Black pepper contains piperine, which enhances the absorption of many compounds. Just a tiny pinch can improve the bioavailability of the active ingredients. Second, consider taking these powders with a small amount of healthy fat, like a teaspoon of coconut oil or a few nuts. Some of the compounds in these powders are better absorbed in the presence of fat. Third, stay relaxed and present during intimacy. These powders provide physical support, but your mental state matters enormously. Focus on connection with your partner, pleasure, and enjoyment, rather than worrying about performance. Fourth, communicate with your partner. Let them know you're trying some natural approaches to enhance your experiences together. Most partners are supportive and appreciative of the effort you're putting into improving your intimate life. Before we wrap up, let me give you a simple action plan to get started. Choose one powder to begin with. I'd recommend starting with L-Citrulline because it has the most research backing it up and provides reliable results for most men. Order a high-quality L-Citrulline powder from a reputable supplement company. Look for pure L-Citrulline, not citrulline malate, which is a different form. The next time you're planning an intimate evening, take 3 to 6 grams of L-Citrulline powder on your tongue about 45 minutes beforehand. Note the effects you experience. After trying L-Citrulline a few times, add beetroot powder to create a combination. Continue experimenting until you find the combination and timing that works best for you. Track your results informally. Notice improvements in firmness, stamina, recovery time, and overall satisfaction. Most men find that these powders make a noticeable difference within the first few uses. If you found this information valuable, please hit that like button and share this video with anyone who might benefit. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content on natural approaches to enhancing men's health and vitality. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Dr. Charlotte Hayes, and remember, your sexual performance doesn't have to decline as you age. By using these natural, science-backed powders at the right time and in the right way, combined with healthy lifestyle practices, you can create intimate experiences that are satisfying, confident, and genuinely memorable for both you and your partner. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.